Tuesday, March 18th, 2025 Board of Education Business Meeting at 6:02 p.m. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jonathan Gerber.
Here.
Michelle Kaiser is not here today.
I don't think she's in the meeting. She had an emergency she had to take care
Dave Clifford.
Here.
Mike Hemsworth.
of. Here.
Patty's running a little late. Ian Mahoney.
Here.
Aaron Novak.
Here.
Thank you.
And the exits are to your right and to your left, and the on-ramps to our right. Subject 2.1, and please get a motion to approve the agenda as presented and or amended at this meeting. Mike, Aaron, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Subject 3.1, may I please get a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 business meeting as presented at this meeting? Dave? Mike? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Subject 4.1, presentations and reports. I'll hand over to Superintendent Hack.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
It's getting sound.
Hello. Yeah, I'll put this one off. Makes sense. I can check. It's very sensitive. Good evening. Just a quick update on universal pre-K and kindergarten enrollment for this fall. We have 36 students currently registered for kindergarten, and that includes both in and out of district placements. There are about 4 to 6 students that we already know are going to be out of district. In addition, we have 35 students currently registered for UPK. That will be 2 classes, one of 18 and one of 17. At 36 students, there would be 2 classes of 18 students, but if we have more than 36 students express interest, we will start a wait list to determine if we want to go above 18. The thing about going above 18 is that it might mean hiring additional staff, so we would make that determination at a later date once we see how many more students register and the board has finalized the budget for 25-26. Just a general announcement that the budget vote is in May at the same time as the board of trustee election. There are petitions for anyone that wishes to run for trustee available from the district clerk, Barrington Petro, at the district office. The seats up this year are David Clifford and Michelle Kaiser. Assistant Superintendent Ann Moreau, a presentation on the budget. She and I will work together on it. Yes.
So we will continue our discussion about the potential expenditures for curriculum and instruction, special ed and technology, transportation, buildings and grounds, and potential one-time purchases. With reference to curriculum and instruction, we are eliminating 1 teacher position through attrition. We have added an additional UPK class. We're looking at professional development for a Google Classroom and eSchool Gradebook. We're looking at a new ELA program. All of the professional development could be funded by grants if possible. With reference to transportation, we're exploring a route or potential for football and lacrosse, modified teams to Warwick. We're exploring a fleet schedule, expanding it from 10 years to 15. With reference to safety and security, we are looking at lockdown alerts, so that if we have a lockdown, lockout, people don't enter the building. It would allow people to know about the lockdown before they come in. With reference to buildings and grounds, we're looking at synchronized classroom clock system, elementary school fire alarm upgrades. With reference to technology, one-to-one kindergarten iPads and second grade Chromebooks. And then, of course, we have teacher negotiations. When we look at the costs of these potential budget additions, the UPK classroom with furnishings, materials and supplies could cost up to $60,000. With reference to the professional development, whether it would be grant funded or through general fund, the Google Classroom, we're estimating around $5,000. We're still looking into these PD.
It would depend on what consultant we hired, right? Both these would be one price, it would probably be a little bit lower, but if we needed to hire someone directly from a company to come in, that's likely to be a little bit more expensive. So we're figuring around $5,000, and that would be for 1 or 2 day staff development. If we decide to have something ongoing, it would likely be a little bit more. We went through both these, it's ultimately aidable. There's some different factors that we're looking at an early number of about $5,000.
We're also looking at a new ELA program where potentially we have 3 vendors looking at that, and we're waiting to finalize that to see what their offerings are and what we need. We're looking at the bus run. We estimate a bus run for the year could be up to $15,000. The kindergarten iPads with warranties of $25,000, as are the Chromebooks for second grade. We're looking at replacing the district clocks, which were originally purchased in 2009, upgrading that to a speaker system, or just replacing the clocks. So that has a range between $35,000 and $350,000, depending on what we choose to do. The elementary school fire alarm system, half of the building requires an upgrade, and that's estimated at $330,000. We have a new contract with our high school partners, and it has a special ed rate, non-resident tuition rate, so we're estimating what that will cost. And then we have the fleet schedule. We're exploring 15 years, but of course we have that hovering mandate from the state. So New York State has mandated zero-emission school buses, and they are a major mandate requiring all schools to transition to zero-emission vehicles. And the key points are by 2027, every new school bus purchased must be zero-emission. By 2035, all school buses on the road must be zero-emission. These buses can either be electric or hydrogen fuel cell powered, which is new to us, and it's, I'm told, very exciting. The requirement applies to all school districts, no matter the size and the location. While this mandate does support environmental goals, it has raised concerns. Critics point to the high cost of electric buses, supply chain issues, the need for significant infrastructure upgrades, from charging stations to ensuring the power grid can meet the demand. And thus far, our researchers show that they can't with our location. The EV mandate, the 10-year replacement schedule would look like this. The, by 2027 is identified by the yellow highlighted area, and to have all buses replaced by 2035 is highlighted in red. As we do budgeting, we look at one-time versus ongoing expenses. And if we have any funds left over in general fund by the end of the year, we look to either put that in reserves or to make those one-time purchases. So we've been very fortunate this year. We have interest earnings due to higher than expected interest rates. And we're considering allocating some of those revenues towards the UPK classroom.
Depending on how much additional revenue we have, there might be additional things that we add in towards the end of the year once we have the final numbers for that extra revenue that we did not anticipate, right?
Yes.
That's additional revenue for this year. That's not something that can be budgeted or allocated to future purchases because it's not something we can budget for.
Thank you for the clarification. So our next steps, March 26th is the committee meeting, and April 9th is the next board workshop, which we will look at the first draft of the budget. On April 24th is the final budget adoption, and we record the property tax report card. On May 13th, we have the public hearing, and then on May 20th is the budget vote and the board of election.
Does anyone have any questions for him?
No, thank you very much.
Principal reports. Reverend Amendment, Principal Ring.
Good evening, Board of Education members, staff, and community. Following a restful mid-winter recess, the elementary school has returned energized and ready for the long haul of March. We had a fantastic evening at the GLTA staff basketball game. While I didn't play, I spent lots of money taking my chances to win that New York Yankee basket, which I did not win. But it was a wonderful event supporting the 8th grade class. Thank you to the GLTA and the middle school for hosting such a memorable evening. On February 26th, we celebrated our 100th day of school. Many students dressed up as 100-year-old little old people, myself included, completed with gray hair and a cane. Well, I'm not in that picture, but I did take a photo with those children. Others creatively wore outfits with 100 items like pom-poms and tattoos. Teachers and staff eagerly participated, making it a very memorable event for our students. We also launched a new annual tradition this year at the elementary school, a Read Across America kickoff event where students return to their previous year's teacher for a read aloud and quality time together. Thank you to our teachers for making this so special. Ms. LaRosa even joined us from her maternity leave to read to her now first graders, and Mrs. Tremarchi read Oobleck, gifting her students a moving Oobleck to take home. I also had the opportunity to read to the newest students in the school, and throughout the week, students participated in a spirited Dr. Seuss themed week, which was so much fun. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Ms. Edna Auerfeld, our librarian, for her incredible dedication to the Read for the New York Boulders Reading Challenge. She has dedicated tremendous time and effort to encourage students to track their reading minutes and earn prizes. We look forward to celebrating our big winners at the conclusion of the event later this month. You may have heard stories or seen videos in our mischievous little leprechaun that runs around the school that no one warned me about. His name is Lucky. He has been creating quite the stir at our school. He managed to make his way around the building, and students across all grades tracked him down. With the help of our amazing police officers, he was caught several times, only to escape again. He was finally captured yesterday in a special box created by our UPK class. Well, we thought he was captured, but in this morning's video, he escaped once more, ensuring that he will return again next year. Word has it, he may even have a friend next year. The students thoroughly enjoyed this experience, which culminated in our Lucky to be a Labor Day yesterday. Classrooms were filled with a sea of green, celebrating our Labor Pride and St. Patrick's Day. Thank you to our teachers and my office staff for organizing this memorable celebration, memorialized with shamrocks of what makes our school so special. Our classrooms have been buzzing with learning between these exciting traditions. Second graders were busy decomposing numbers and explaining their thought processes. First graders were focused on pounding and sounding out words for their writing pieces. Third graders have been applying multiplication to calculate the area of various polygons. Kindergartners have been working on building numbers using pictorial clues and crafting letters out of Play-Doh. I even got to join a PLTW session where students explored friction and stride by building and testing model gliders, all while the gym has been filled with excitement during March Madness basketball skill drills. Additionally, our RTI team and I spent 2 full days meeting with all teachers to review RTI students and data, while also checking in on the students to ensure appropriate support is in place. During these meetings, I have had valuable conversations with teachers about enhancing our PBIS framework for next year. I've attended some professional development sessions and plan to bring members of my committee to upcoming trainings to help implement and stabilize Tier 1 strategies. I have also scheduled a virtual exploration of a program called PBIS Rewards for our next staff meeting to explore digital tools that can help us track data and streamline our PBIS reward system. I look forward to collaborating with our teachers and possibly our middle school team on these efforts. Looking ahead, we are going to participate in an initiative led by Ms. Erica Arrieta called Blankets for Hope. Students will create letters of kindness and hope to accompany blankets that were donated to us to give to homeless individuals in local shelters. I look forward to sharing more details on this meaningful project next month. As always, thank you for your support. We celebrate our students' growth and look forward to the exciting weeks ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Middle school principal, Mr. Cosby.
Hey, good evening, everyone. For tonight, I'll begin with some of our recent events that you see up on the slide there. On Wednesday, February 26th, our ski club members took their annual trip to Bel Air for Bel Air Mountain for their ski trip. As you know, we go to Mount Peter. They also take some longer trips. They'll go to Bel Air and then they'll go to Vernon as well. So the Bel Air trip, as you can see, it was a great day behind them. That trip had to be rescheduled because it was going to be like pouring rain on the original day. So it worked out that we rescheduled it because it turned out to be a wonderful day for them. So thank you to Mr. Vanelli and Mrs. Ronnie for all of their work throughout the winter season and providing our students with that opportunity to go skiing and snowboarding. On March 6th, as Ms. Ray mentioned, we had the GLT basketball game here at the middle school. That was a great event, well attended. I also did not win any baskets that night. The Yankee one was I put several tickets in that one, but I did not win that. I was the voice of the game, which was fun. It was exciting, it was competitive. The students ultimately edged out the teachers with some clutch shots in the fourth quarter, but overall it's just a great night for our students and staff and for our community to come out. So I thank, like Mrs. Rank said, I thank the GLTA for sponsoring that event and also specifically for the funds that come from that event to support our 8th grade students and a lot of their end of year endeavors here at the middle school. So again, thanks to all. Our spring musical production of Moana Jr. was also a great success. We had performances last Friday and Saturday, also again well attended. I'd like to just take a moment to thank and commend all of our cast and crew. I watched this develop when they first started putting the cast together at the end of December, and then periodically I would pop in here as they were working, and I could see that, you know, all the practice and trials and tribulations that go with things, and then the way that it all came together, like it does each year, was fantastic. So it was nothing short of amazing. For anyone who was here, you got to see a great performance by all of our students, and I really want to commend them and also the directors, Ms. Janelle and Mr. Compton, for all of their work in preparing our students and giving them this platform to showcase their talents, as well as Mr. Vanelli. So as all of our musicals, when you see the set design and the props that go with that, Mr. Vanelli puts a tremendous amount of work into those things, and working with the stage crew, building the raft that you see there, down to the heart of Te Fiti. So anyone who knows Moana, the heart of Te Fiti, that glowing heart. So one day I was walking, just to digress for a second, I was walking down the hall, Mr. Vanelli goes, look what I made. And he used our 3D printers to make the heart of Te Fiti, and then he put the LED lights in it and batteries to create that. And things like that just sometimes go unnoticed, and that's why I really wanted to just make sure I mentioned that. But again, the production, the creation, the training of the students, the set design, it all just comes together for a great show. So it was awesome. Also, the other picture you see is the Pi Day contest. So that's something Mr. Huggins started on 314. We have the Pi Day contest each year for our 6th grade students, and you can see those are our top 5 students who had the most digits, and that's Mr. Huggins with them. They had a little competition here in the cafeteria. But again, thank you to Mr. Huggins for doing that, and to our 6th grade team for bringing our students down and preparing them for that competition. As Ms. Ring also said yesterday, lucky to be a Labor Day, so there was certainly a sea of green here at the middle school. And one other thing that is coming up that I have several other things, but the 3rd quarter also just ended on the 14th. So I just want to make note that the 3rd quarter progress report period has ended. Those progress reports will be live on eSchool on Friday, and also will be mailed home on Monday. So those are some of our past events. Our upcoming or ongoing events, we have the Read for the New York Boulders contest. We are participating as well as the elementary school. Thank you to Ms. Horfeld for all of her work. The students are continually logging minutes, looking to try to win those special prizes. Other schools do participate in this, including the home district that I live in, and my daughter every night is locking minutes. So I know kids are out there, and I know personally because I'm seeing it at home, because they are incentivized by this contest. So I'm looking forward to see how our Green Relay middle school students fare, and hopefully they can reap the rewards of that while practicing the important skill of reading. Also this week, the PTSA Book Fair is taking place. It started today, it goes through Wednesday, and the family night for this event is tomorrow night here at the middle school from 6 to 8 p.m. right here in the cafeteria. Also not on our regular calendar, but this Thursday we'll be doing an assembly program for all of our students in grades 4 through 8. Specifically, that will be run by myself and Ms. Melo Ramos as part of our mid-year reminder on behavioral and academic expectations. Now, I know the board probably has heard me talk about this before. I did something similar, said that last year. The spring season brings added excitement. We're past that midway point in the year. We have a lot of fun activities to look forward to. We all naturally feel better as the weather looks nicer, right? We feel, we get excited because we can be outside. But sometimes that excitement, although it's good, turns into some off-task behaviors. And sometimes that mid-year point, we become a little too comfortable in our behaviors. So a mid-year reminder, I believe, is critical to give our students the tools they need to be successful from now through the end of the year. So during these assemblies, we'll split it into 2 groups. We will meet with 6th through 8th grade students in the morning and 4th and 5th grade students in the afternoon. And we will cover basically everything that students need to be aware of to be successful from now to the end of the year. Heavily on expected behaviors in all areas. So that includes classroom behavior, bus behavior, lunch and recess behavior. It also includes academic success, because we are at that midway point, so now's the time to focus. How have you done so far? What do you need to do to either keep it going or get better by setting individual goals for yourself? So that's another area of focus of those discussions with the students. But ultimately, we want to make sure that students are aware of the tools for success, and also the expectations to avoid any off-task behaviors. And when an off-task behavior takes place, and I see a trend in it, we will address it. So that some of those things will be included on the list of activities for students to be, again, made aware of at that assembly program on Thursday. in addition to our trainings, we are looking at some other outside trainings as well. So the students do hear my voice, they hear Ms. Melo Ramos, they hear their teachers as well, although I feel like the assembly program is very important for them. We are looking at other outside opportunities potentially for an assembly program, an outside speaker, sometimes an added voice, bringing information to students. Sometimes, it could be received differently. So we're looking at and researching some of the areas that unfortunately middle school students continue to face, and we're seeing a rise in risk, specifically things like internet, social media, electronic communication between each other, or others that they're unaware of that they're communicating with. Also, the increased rise in the branding and packaging and promotion of vaping to students. So vaping is a problem in itself, but when you look at what some of these companies are doing to promote the vaping, they're putting it in a manner that makes it seem like it's okay for students. And we want to make sure they know that it's not okay. So that's one of the areas. So we're looking to see if we can get some guest speakers in that area. If it's unable to be done by the end of this year, it'll definitely be a focus for next year on some of those topics and several others. So I know that's a lot. I'm focusing really on addressing the negative, but there's a lot of great stuff going on right now too. I've been able to get into classrooms, both formally through observation, but also informally, just popping in, and our kids are doing great things. So I don't want the takeaway from this to be, this is just really the preparation to make sure that kids have the tools for success. Everyone needs a little reminder. So we do have a lot of positive things that are happening in our classes. We also are excited for Monday, the start of modified spring sports. So we do have modified spring sports that will be taking place on Monday as well. And it's just part of our process as we continue to look at all of our practices and try to make things better for our students. And one example of that is right now too, something for the future that I'll be coming forward with is looking at things like we're looking at NJHS, which is another thing that's coming up and we'll be celebrating later this school year. So we've had a lot of positive dialogue right now about that process, and also trying to see, are we doing, or is our process the best here as it can be for Green Lakes? So we're looking at other districts, we're looking at some of our neighboring and partnering districts, and looking at things like what's the process, what's the application process look like, what's the grade point average expectations and the cutoff ranges, and just seeing how are we doing things similar or different to other schools, and then we're gonna evaluate that process. So that's gonna be part of like a summer committee and something that we're looking forward to. But again, we always want to look to see what can be done better, and that's a lot of what I just talked about. So with that, that's pretty much it. We're here for the middle school. I know it's a lot. We do have state testing coming up. I know that's not as exciting as the stuff on the slide, but we do have state testing coming up. So we're going to kick it off with our computer-based testing for ELA in the first week of April, and then we're going to be heading into the next one will be science after that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For curriculum instruction and people personnel services, we have Assistant Superintendent Tracey.
Good evening, everyone. So the recent Superintendent's Conference Day held on this past Thursday, March 13th, provided an opportunity for professional development for teachers and teaching assistants. You can see I broke it down. We had several, and I'll talk about several different workshops going on simultaneously. It's important to note that the district offers several conference days throughout the school year, and for this particular conference day, topics were chosen based on district initiatives and current trends in education. As indicated, there were 3 professional development sessions that were held simultaneously, each offering specialized content. One session, which you can see in the middle photos, was the Foundational Skills for Teaching Assistants. It was a full-day event designed specifically for our teaching assistants. It was led by a presenter from Orange Ostrogoses, who was a former special educator with extensive experience in various school settings, as well as working with over 100 TAs, she had indicated. The session aimed to equip TAs with essential tools and strategies to effectively support students in the classroom. For our core 6 through 8 general education teachers and special area teachers, the day started with a combined morning session with introduction to AI, otherwise known as artificial intelligence. In the afternoon, the group split into 2 focus sessions. The core 6 through 8 teachers attended an ed tech toolbox for core teachers, while special area teachers joined an ed tech toolbox for special area teachers. And basically, the morning was really diving into the different AI programs that can be utilized both through instructional practices and then turnkeyed over to students, so that students also, and done in a safe way, and different tips in how to do that. And then the afternoon, it broke up, taking that a step further, where staff was able to learn about different programs and apps that they can use in addition to artificial intelligence to enhance their teaching practices, and again, turnkey over to students, which was real nice. But both the sessions were led by our model schools and technology specialists from Orange Ostrogoses, and they were quite wonderful. The third session was a full-day workshop titled Co-Teaching and Collaboration, and this was designed for pre-K through 5, general education and special education teachers, as well as interventionists and related service providers. It was led by a team member from GNR Inclusive Group. The session was aimed to initiate future collaboration efforts for the upcoming 25-26 school year. As I had spoke about in previous Board of Ed presentations, GNR has been working and coaching our 6 through 8 general education and special education teachers during the current year in order to enhance their co-teaching practices and collaboration, and we're hoping for them to join us next year working with our K-5 teams. Overall, the day was well received, with staff offering valuable suggestions for improving future superintendent conference days. If you could just go to the next slide, please. A few hours after the superintendent's conference day, I sent a survey out to all staff members who attended the conference, requesting some feedback on the day. And as you note, as I mentioned, there was a lot of positive feedback. I pulled out from the survey the points that were came up most often in the survey by members of our staff. So the content, positive feedback, sessions were aligned with current trends and supported student success, engagement. Overall, the teachers and the TAs found the sessions informative and engaging. The collaboration and community building, opportunities for networking and sharing ideas were also well received. I also put a question in there on things that we can improve for future superintendent conference days, because all stakeholder voices are important, so we wanted to hear from the people who attended the conference. And again, same top 3 suggestions. Relevant topics, some feedback from the staff suggested surveying participants during the planning stages of superintendent's conference days to get initial feedback on areas of interesting topics that they might want to be part of. Multiple shorter sessions, so feedback suggested that shorter, more varied sessions might enhance engagement and help sustain interest throughout the entire session, because it is a long day and there's a lot of content. And although there are breaks and different cooperative group activities, it still is a long day. And personalization. So rather than being assigned to a session, some staff expressed the desire for flexibility to select a provided session based on individual needs. These insights, along with state and district initiatives, will certainly help refine future professional development and conference days to better meet the evolving needs of staff and enhance student learning. It's important just to remember that certain things are regulatory, like last Superintendent's Day, last March, we did a full safety conference day with our staff and police officers and so forth, so it was something that we needed to do. In November, we also, that was a conference day where most of our staff did have choice by attending. Some did attend some PD of training of curriculum, but most of our staff went outside district and got to choose different professional development workshops at our Joseph Bosse's and some outside sports for our phys ed teachers. So there is opportunity, but there's always room for suggestions and for collaboration. So it was a really great day, and I appreciate the feedback I did receive from the staff. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just real quick, I wanted to review that on tonight's agenda. We do have the 2025-26 calendar. There are 187 days of instruction, and that includes 4 superintendent conference days on the calendar that's up for approval today. And that does give us 7 snow days built into the calendar that are able to be used without having to create makeup days. There are now 2 new state mandated holidays that are full implementation this year, but I just wanted to remind people of Juneteenth and the Lunar New Year are mandated days off from school. So it is making it more difficult for us to have extended breaks at all the different holidays. Also at Christmas next year, the way it falls, the holiday's on a Thursday, and so we ended up doing 2 full weeks there at Christmas, simply because of the way Christmas falls. So a lot of things are really kind of pigeonholed based on how days fall throughout the year and the various mandated holidays from the state. So because of those reasons, we are looking at a shorter February break next year. It will be Monday through Wednesday. Monday is President's Day, Tuesday is New Year, and then we did add an extra day just to have a little bit of an extended President's Day weekend. And that's my presentation.
You might want to add that if the 7 snow days aren't used, we typically
Give back, yes, and we usually give back days, and we'll talk about that next month. For this year, we looked at Easter, spring break, during the Monday after Easter sometimes, if we weren't able to do it in the original calendar, we look at Memorial Day weekend, and then we look at the end of the school year as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, we'll go to district liaisons. We'll start with Ian Chester.
Not much new, of course, just like everywhere else, high school sports are starting up in the spring. April 25th, there's spring musicals happening, and then also for the high schools, May 5th, there's spring high school concert. And I'm sure, they're acting up for all the last trimester or semester. That's what
Patty, Warwick.
Yeah, for Warwick, so progress report window closed same day as we did, March 14th. Parents should expect the progress reports to be posted on the portal sometime at the end of next week. Warwick has a new district website. It is up and running. I don't know if some of you guys have been on it yet, but it was designed to make it easier to navigate. If parents are having any problems like glitches with the parent portal or not being able to access certain pages, you can email communications at wvcsd.org. So that's communications at wvcsd.org with any problems you're facing with the new website. To all seniors, make sure you check the class of 2025 checklist that was posted on Google Classroom and emailed to parents. Make sure you're staying up to date with all the reminders and deadlines for you. And best of luck to all of our Laker kids who are trying out for the spring sports this week. That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Michelle's not here, but Mike, do you have anything for me? Okay. Mike Oxman?
As far as Oxman, the meeting was held on March 5th and couldn't attend due to religious obligations. But I found out it really wouldn't apply to us anyway. They discussed student members of school boards, high school members, which is becoming a new wave in New York State. Actually, I think it might be mandated now, that you have to have a representative student on your school board if you have it from scheduled high school. They're non-voting members, but they do have, they can attend the meeting and stay there and say, like I said, that doesn't apply to us since we don't have high school. So it's a good meeting.
All right, thank you. Facilities?
Yeah, we had our meeting last week, met with our project manager, everything is done.
committee, I don't think there was anything. Budget, we just met and then Ann just gave us a presentation. And then policy committee, I think, that was in that last week. Or the last board meeting.
That was the last
meeting. And I don't see anybody from the PTSA. Does anybody have any updates?
Just that the Village Fair is this week at the middle school and next week at the elementary school.
And then the village of Greenwood Lake.
Today's the election.
Action is today.
Today.
So if you live in the village of Greenwood Lake,
Goes to multiple of the nine.
go out and vote for everybody that's watching. And the Orange Oils or BOCES, I don't see anybody. Subject 5.1, privilege of the floor. Do not see anybody, so we'll move right along. Thank you. Subject 6.1, may I please get a motion to cast one vote each nominating William Voss, David Eaton, and Edwin Estrada to the 3 open seats on the Orange Ulster BOCES Executive Board as presented. Mike, Ian, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.1, may I please get a motion to approve the February 2025 financial reports and monthly warrants as presented? Aaron, Mike, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.2, may I please get a motion to adopt the 2025-2026 student calendar? Mike? Ian? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.3, may I please get a motion to also authorize the district to publish the legal notices for the May 20th, 2025 budget vote and election as presented? Mike, Dave, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Dave, don't forget to pick up your paperwork. Subject 7.4, may I please get a motion to approve the Orange Ulster BOCES Communication Services print shop as the printer of ballots and materials for the May 20th, 2025 budget vote and election as presented? Mike, Ian, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.5, may I please get a motion to approve the addendum agreement to the terms and conditions of employment for the Assistant Superintendent for Business as presented? Mike? Dave? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Ann. Subject 7.6. May I please get a motion to create an hourly position for the instructor of medically fragile homebound student and establish the rate of pay for special educators as presented? Mike? Patty? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.7, may I please get a motion to approve the health services contract with Greenberg Central School District as presented? Dave, Mike, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.8, may I please get a motion to approve the health services contract with the Goshen Central School District as presented? Mike, Patty, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.9, may I please get a motion to approve the BAGMO consultant agreement as presented? Dave, Mike, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.10, may I please get a motion to approve an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Warwick to open a Red Cross shelter as presented? Mike, Ian, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 7.11, may I please get a motion to approve the Orange Ulster BOCES Cooperative Purchasing Agreement as presented? Mike? Aaron? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.1, may I please get a motion to approve the unpaid leave of absence of Emma LaRosa as presented? Mike? Dave? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.2, may I please get a motion to extend the leave replacement appointment of Kathleen Egan as presented? Dave? Mike? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.3, may I please get a motion to appoint Kathleen Egan as lead replacement teacher as presented? Mike? Patty? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.4, may I please get a motion to appoint Kathy Castaldo as an hourly medical fragile homebound student instructor? Mike? Dave? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.5, may I please get a motion to accept the resignation of Lori Quaranta as lunch recess aide as presented? Dave? Mike? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.6, may I please get a motion to appoint the following individuals as part-time lunch recess aides as presented? Dave? Mike? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.7, may I please get a motion to appoint Carrie Devine as substitute bus driver as presented? Mike? Patty? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 8.8, may I please get a motion to appoint the following individuals as substitutes as presented? Mike? Dave? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 9.1, may I please get a motion to accept the CSE recommendations as presented at this meeting? Patty? Ian? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Subject 10.1, may I please get a motion to adjourn to executive session for contract negotiations pursuant to the GLTA. No action will be taken after executive session. Aaron? Patty? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. The next, subject 11.1, the next Board of Education meeting will take place on Thursday, April 24th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the middle school cafeteria. Thank you very much, everybody. See you in exec.